I wish someone told me these three things before I started my business. It could save me years or months of struggles. I've personally been there, done that, I've made the mistake, and I've learned a lesson. And today, I'm gonna tell you what I did wrong and what you should avoid before you start a business. So, look. I know a lot of you out there just want to jump right in and just go ahead and do it. Often, most of the time, you're not doing the right things. You are working on building a website, building a logo. Is that productive? You get a client from building a website. It might make your website look good, may make you look decent if you have a logo and a working website. But guess what? If you don't take the step, if you don't do the action, then your business is not going to be started. Like, you're just lazy at that point. So, what I'm going to show you today is three things I did personally to avoid. My name is Quan, and I've personally started a business for myself. His name is Quantum, and what I've been doing is I've been helping people all over the world in different niches to get them their appointment. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you three things that I did wrong personally, and I want you to avoid so you can know to start a good business. You don't have to waste months and years of struggle, so then you could have the time to actually focus on what's matter. It's not the website building or the logo. All right. First mistake that I did when I started was that I always think that when you need a business to work, you need a massive, massive starting fund. You need about 100K or 500K or even $1 million to get yourself a working business, to fund yourself of the staff, of the uh, email, of the SMS, of the automation. But let me just destroy that belief. Because look, even if you have the money to even start a business, you got 100 grand, 500 grand for you to invest in your new business. Guess what? You're gonna spend all of that money wasted because early on you will make mistake. You'll make mistake and learn them, and you personally don't know anything. You don't know better. Like, there was this person and I had help. What they've done is that since they don't know anything about marketing or anything about email campaign or SMS campaign, they have tried to hire people to do those things for them. And guess what? Personally themselves, they don't know the right metric of success to see if the email campaign is working or not. I mean, you can tell that beta client are coming in, but compared to the amount of money they have used on those person, it's a valuable investment. So they don't know the metric or anything because they haven't done it themselves. They don't know the average cost of a client would be good, how much they should invest. So they just end up wasting most of their money on these campaigns. So look, I'm not saying that having money is a bad thing. I'm saying the opposite. Having money is a great thing. But it's less about using the money to kind of hire people that you don't know is qualified. So look, if you really, really want to hire someone that are showing a decent amount of competence. So what that means is that when you hire someone and you decide to pay them, before even you paying them, they should have some sort of pre-result. So what that means is they already done this with someone else and they know the metric that they're talking about. So they're just not half-assing you. They're not selling you a dream. Instead of they're actually selling you something that you can grasp on. That just means that when you have money, you just have to be more careful of what you are doing because again, it could completely ruin your whole fun and you could just wasted your time and stuff like that. So just spend it wisely. And if you have to go through the trial and error period where you could go and test all these things out yourself so you know what's right and what's wrong for you, then by all means do that. Or you could spend your money on a coach or someone else who's ahead of you to show you how to do this, to show you, walk you through it, how they could do it for you, and see what they've done right and what you've done wrong so you have something to compare. Again, spend money so you can learn, leverage yourself, and that will automatically increase the business. Second, let's talk about burnout. So, what happened is that when you are in this period of working, you often are passionate. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be passionate, and I think it's great to be passionate as well as ambitious. But most of the time, what you will be doing is wasting your time being burnt out. A lot of you have probably experienced this. You start a new project, you work on it super hard, you try everything, you work 7, 10, 11, 12, even 18 hours a day on your business just to make that work. And guess what? After you doing this for a month or two, you start getting tired, you feel drained, you don't feel like you want to work anymore. It's boring. And your business haven't made a single dollar. You have just waste your time being burnt out and you're not feeling up to it anymore. You waste money, waste time, and you waste yourself investing in something else. So you have committed everything that you could to this business, and you just feel this great sense of boredom, and you just don't feel like it anymore. So, personally, I have experienced this. Back when I was 12th grade, it was winter of 2023. I felt drained. Everything felt like it's completely dark. And I'm not making a joke because it's winter outside and there's no sun, everything is dark. But I felt completely drained. Everything feel like I was moving through this low kind of slug. And personally, I prefer sleeping over than working. So every single day, it felt like a drain. I had work, school, and everything like that. I just felt the big cause that I am not committed to this business anymore. And personally, it was a struggle to get out of bed. Because I know that if I don't get this business to work, I've wasted all my time, all of my money, and it just didn't feel right. So before all of this, what has happened is that I've started a new program. And in that program, I've learned like many things. I've learned how to do marketing, I've learned how to do sales, I've learned how to do website design, I've learned to do logo, I've learned a bunch of things. I've learned, most importantly, I've learned to outreach. And personally, that summertime was an absolute blast because I was booking calls left and right because I had my calendar filled, like absolutely filled, from 7 a.m. to all the way to 8 p.m. in the afternoon. That's basically my all of my time allocated to that. And personally, I think it was awesome. I was just working at it. I was keep going. I just keep going. But you know, great time don't last, and I fell into a trance around winter. I just felt complete burnout. Everything didn't feel good anymore. I don't feel like doing this anymore. I don't want to take any more calls and stuff like that. So that period, I completely wasted myself just working on random things. So I remember what I did was I started working on my website. So I just started building websites, started creating logos. I decided to create a bunch of script. I've learned how to do a bunch of random things that aren't even applicable to my business. And personally, I just felt complete burnt out. I didn't know what to do. So what I did was that uh, I just completely stopped. I stopped everything. I took about a 3 month break, just not working my business at all, just not progressing anything, just focusing on the school as well as wrestling, which I did at the time. And let me tell you that was one of the biggest mistakes because during that summer I had momentum. I was just going and going. I was booking myself client. So in the first month of ever working with that new program, apply that and everything, I booked myself my first client. Next week, booked myself a second client, and then it just keep going from there. And I remember that summer, I started around August, and by the end of September, I already had myself like 4 to 5 client lineup. It was crazy. So, look, the mistake what I'm trying to make here is that once you feel burnout, try to keep yourself doing the productive task. So what that means is, even if you feel like you're kind of just not feeling it anymore, bad time are temporary, so as well as good times. So the period that I had just going off, it was temporary, but sooner or later I will have a recession. That's just kind of a part of business. It's just kind of part of working. You feel burnt out in periods. But if you just keep yourself going at it, just keep working at the hard task, then you will feel revitalized much faster than doing these feeling productive tasks. So just I I'm not saying to power through. Just make sure that you keep yourself productive no matter what you feel. All right? 3. Entrepreneurship is often not for everyone. This is something that I've realized or somewhat later on my entrepreneur career because it requires a lot. And often, most of the time, people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. So this mistake that I made was that I had spoken to a friend about entrepreneurship. I was like, hey, you should really try this. This worked out really well, and you should try it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it wasn't soon that he had decided to tell me that this is not gonna work. This is too much for me, and I can't do this anymore. So I was like, how did I go through with it, but someone else couldn't? It was more a long, painful process for me. It had taken me years before I had even gotten to where I'm at right now. So before then, I had to take little steps. So in 10th grade, I did a bit of reading. I've learned a bit about sales and stuff like that. So it's just a little step that I took beforehand that make this all doable. So it's not really fair when I try to train someone else to tell them to jump right in and try the caliber that I'm doing right now. Because if I'm be honest with you, they're not gonna last. Because first, to learn how to walk through fire, you gotta build yourself a body that is worth the fire. So essentially, you just have to build yourself up to become someone who could just walk through it and feel the pain, but not be burnt by it. So it was a lot for me to take in. I was like, I thought I had a business partner. I thought I had someone to work with, but I guess it's just not for everyone. It's not my own failure at teaching. It's not their failure for not trying hard enough. But it's really just not for everyone. When you want to walk through this path, you have to be willing to try multiple things, build yourself up, learn to accept rejection and move away from it. And I think if I didn't spend time building up myself beforehand, I would have just been just in and out, just quick and then quit. And like I did for other type of business, I've done drop shipping, I've done NFTs, I've done all of that, but I never spent myself working beforehand just to prep myself for the kind of the downside of the market. You always see the grass screening on the other side, but just think carefully before you tread into this, because I tread in this very blindly, and it has cost me a lot and a lot of sacrifice. But in the end, personally, I feel like it was worth it for me. So just know what you want to sacrifice and see if that's worth the cost. Now, if you are still thinking about starting after seeing all the mistake I did, all the pain I went through, here's a way that I can show you how to drastically improve your chances of being successful in the market. The first thing I want to tell you is that model after someone else who have done the work before you. So when I walk into this industry, I just blindly follow anything and everything that walks. So even someone who are making like the same amount of money as me, even just like a little bit higher, and it's the model all change everything, all of it, just to copy them. But instead, what I would do if I were restarting again all over is that I would follow someone who has the goal that I want. So I didn't realize this until later on, which is why I started to buy a program. Because I had someone who had my goals, has my dream, and he was just selling a course. I'm not telling you to go and buy a course, but if you've seen someone who is in your dream, who has your dream, who's doing the thing that you want, just find a way that you can connect to them, learn what they do, and model it after them. Because I'm gonna steal one of my mentor quote. It's good artists copy, great artists steal. So just find a way where you can steal their model and improve it with your own touch, make it better. So if someone is their business model is work 12-hour and do all these outreach on top of it, you should steal that, take what they have, and double it. If they're working 12-hour, you should work 24-hour, do double the outreach, do double the email, so you could learn faster than they could. So you can meet their rate in a crazy amount of time. So that would be my advice if you were to step into a new industry or try a new business. Just model it after someone who has done it, double their progress, change what they've done so it could work for you and it could work for your brand. If you find this valuable and you like content like this, where I've talked about my mistake, my story of what I've done right, what I've done wrong, what I've discovered right, just let me know in a comment and hit the like and subscribe button. Also, check out my free course. This course will help you get your 5 to 10 client a month automatically for free. I'm giving this for free for you guys. So just click the link on the description below, and me and my team will personally show you how you could achieve it. So, other than that, later.